everybody, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I have a process video for you today using my March How to Kill a Kit with Style. And so this is the kit that I put together based on a shopping trip to Tuesday morning. And so I'm using this Sunny Days Maggie Holmes paper pad. And I do have the video posted if you want to see everything in this kit, but you're going to get a pretty good look at it today based on this layout. So I have this picture, and this is my cousin's little girl again, and she is just sitting on the swings with the most beautiful smile on her face, and there's all kinds of like glowing sun in the background, and so that's where we're going to start. And so I thought this white with gold foil kind of crazy pattern paper would be a good starting spot. That gold foil and the yellow like sunlight tones in the picture really work well together. And so I feel like if I can create some layers behind my photo to separate the two just a little bit, it's going to really create a cool like look where the two colors kind of play off of each other. So I'm going to work on building that photo like matte. And so I'm going to put some of this pink kind of grid pattern paper behind my white cardstock border. And then I also want to use a strip of this blue and a strip of this kind of mustardy yellow. And these all came from that one like Sunny Days paper pad pack. So it's one of those project pads that has pattern paper, cardstock, glitter paper, sticker sheets, alphabets, you know, all the things. And so I went ahead and used my notebook punch and punched the edge of the blue and the edge of the yellow. The yellow I'm going to end up keeping, but the blue is going to end up getting trimmed off. And you'll kind of see that as we go. So I had them on opposite like sides, and I like it, but I feel like it was too much of the same thing. So I'm going to start kind of tucking in pieces that I want to use. And so these are some numbers, and I just cut them out of this sheet of pattern paper. I don't necessarily need the number, but I wanted those little pops of different color. And then I went ahead and grabbed that one that had like the little numbers on it, and I'm just tucking all those things into those layers behind my photo. I wanted to try and include that one to get some of that scallopy edge, but I just felt like it was starting to get to be a little bit too much. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead with these little like labels and cards that I already have in my layers. And you'll see in a second here, I decide to take that blue edge off, and I don't do it in the most like evenly spaced manner. I just kind of take my scissors and trim off the edge, and it's not particularly straight, and it doesn't really matter because most of it's going to get, you know, cut up or covered up anyway. I am going to stick a doily behind my photo mats, and it's just going to give me a little bit more separation. It's a little harder to see on screen because that gold foil is so reflective. But it does create just a little bit of distance between the gold foil and the picture, which is, I felt like was a good thing. And so I'm going to go ahead and use some of the chipboard. I'm basically creating two clusters around my photo. So one in the top left, one in the bottom right. And then I'm also going to have a cluster in the top right-hand corner of like the entire layout. So I'm just kind of thinking about what I want to go in those different spaces. And I have the two little florals right now. And I'm just going to keep building and building and building on top of my clusters. So on the sticker sheet, there are two little tags, and I'm going to stick those into this top cluster that I've started working on. And then I'm going to tear off, like I cut the ends off so that they would trail off the edge of the page. And I'm going to take those two little like trimmed off pieces and stick them into the layers behind my photo. So it just looks like additional pattern paper layers, even though those were stickers. And then I'm playing with some of these other little sticker elements. So I've got a couple little florals that I'm going to add as a bottom layer underneath my chipboard to kind of just create some more layers and dimension. I am kind of thinking about, I wanted to use the Sweet Life sticker as the title, but I didn't realize that it's like in this project pad, that is like one big sticker. Like the words aren't separated into three stickers. It is a one giant sticker. And there was just nowhere on this layout with a white like bordered sticker was going to work. I am going to grab a couple of little die cut pieces from this little sheet that came in that artsy pack. And I'm not going to use them as flowers. I'm just going to use them kind of as circular elements in my clusters. And then I'm going to use that word smile as my title. And that came back off of the chipboard sheet. And I'm just seeing where else I can add some of these, like the little hearts and some more pieces of chipboard. You can't really see that top cluster at the moment, but I am going to put one, that flower that I just put on and took off is going to end up going back over there. I decided that I kind of needed just a little something extra that was not in my kit. And so that's what I'm doing here as I go off screen is I'm trying to, like, I have a big organizer on my desk that just has little like extras, like things that I have cut out or die cut or pieces of cut file that are left over or random pieces of die cuts. So you can kind of see I got a whole lot of that stuff on my desk at the moment. So I'm just going to pull out a few of these little pieces. So I'm going to add this little bird, and then I add these little white vines into each of my clusters. And I'm going to get some enamel dots on there as well. So I did add just a few little things that were not in my original kit. And that's okay because it's getting some older stash used up. It's not like I went and like purchased something new to finish these layouts. I'm still using some older stash. I just needed a couple little things to finish this particular layout off. I am going to take my tiny attacher and use it as a way to kind of attach these vines in a little bit different way. And I kind of like how that looks. So it looks like I actually took a little like foliage greenery vine piece and stapled it right onto the page. So even though it's not real, it kind of gives that impression that it's a little vine stuck on there. I'm trying to figure out that chipboard for the top, and it's going to end up being this flower, which I had started with and changed my mind, and now I'm back to it again. I am going to add just a couple of the little chipboard leaves to add just a pop of that little green color up in this top part. For this particular layout, I did want to finish it off with some splatters. So I've grabbed two different colors of Distress ink. And so as you will see here in a second, I am going to add some Distress ink splatters. I am adding just a few little drops of like Nuvo drops to each of my clusters as well, just because I wanted some of this pale pink color that I didn't necessarily have an enamel dot for. That's where you're going to see me go ahead and go for the spray that I mentioned earlier. I did want to thank you for hanging out on my channel. As so much of the world is kind of on a little bit more of a slower pace than usual, I am trying to make sure that I am bringing you lots of content here on YouTube, as well as we are doing lots and lots of content and challenges over on the Facebook page. So if you, there's a link down below in the box if you want to click there so that you can join us on Facebook. We do a lot of live scrapbooking over there, tutorials and tips and hanging out and chatting and just being a crafty family. So definitely come check us out over there, and I look forward to seeing you a lot more here on my channel in the next few weeks. Have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.